This pandemic has not only swept through the world, affecting billions of patients, putting healthcare services on the verge of collapsing, it has also deeply affected various industries and has put the world in an unprecedented dismay. Our industry was on the front line of the fight. From diagnostic to vaccines, the entire industry was mobilized. Now that the peak of infection are almost behind us, except in some area of the world, it is the time to reflect about the consequences for our industry. With COVID-19 pandemic, professionals faced an unprecedented situation, with extreme measures such as curfew, lockdown. Industry executives had to design and execute extreme protection plans for employees, while still maintaining business working. Business success is a consequence of healthy and productive staff. Placing the well-being of our employees as the highest priority is the key to good leadership. Through the crisis, it took bold leadership decisions to provide people-oriented policies while maintaining steady business. Compromise between employee protection and business had a significant financial impact. On one hand, IT expenses skyrocketed. On the other hand, however, the absence of mobility resulted in a significant decrease in travel and lodging expenses. Very soon, after the first lockdowns around the world, industry faced an unanticipated psychological collapse of human resources. Indeed, this crisis came with a significant social burden. Depression, related sick leaves, leading to production and business discontinuity. One could argue that such a situation is highly profitable for hiring. The reality is different. Although working remotely facilitates access to a wider choice of profiles through larger territories, hiring remotely does not facilitate the integration of newcomers in the companies. This emphasizes the fact that companies are not only about business and process, but they are also about people and community culture. In fact, people and community culture lead the companies to successful business, not the other way around. The current situation revealed insufficiencies in IT, mainly in terms of speed and cybersecurity. Discrepancy between IT levels for industry and healthcare providers forced IT upgrades and enhanced cyber protection. Following numerous criminal attacks against the healthcare infrastructures and industrial hacking and espionage. Such new threats lead to accelerated adoption of AI in some diagnostic areas and beyond. Indeed, AI can be used to improve the overall efficiency and throughput. This is mainly because the current sanitary crisis had a significant impact on radiology workflow that was literally flooded with emergency exams, reading and interpretation. This led to more demand of productivity, and as a result, existing devices became rapidly obsolete because simply inefficient for the current needs. However, AI solutions, as designed in the recent past, are far from the optimal solution to address productivity needs in the context of the current crisis, as it still requires systematic check from radiologists. But we will address this later in the talk, in our vision for the future. This pandemic situation is here to last. We are entering an era in which we will have to live with the viruses. The crisis forced us to acknowledge that remote interactions can be productive for selected purposes. Therefore, travel may not be the only solution anymore and can be drastically reduced in the future. This may also have a significant ecological impact. Physical interaction remains essential, but a balance between physical and virtual interactions needs to be found. If such a balance could have been found before the current crisis happened, it may have limited the effects of the pandemic. This is a lesson we must learn for the future. Regarding exhibitions, the model that has prevailed so far is, in our opinion, finished. Until now, the participants were staying for 4 or 5 consecutive days on site and were visiting all booths and conference rooms. With virtual meetings, this is not possible anymore. Nobody stays in the front of the screen for 8 consecutive hours. A new model has to be found. A mix between being on site and attending virtually with shorter and sharper meetings seems to be an emerging trend. Learned societies need to adapt to this new model by offering a larger panel of digital events. The timeline needs to be adapted to remote interactions. A 5-day physical meeting suddenly seems obsolete. Maybe a shorter on-site meeting combined with multiple digital events through the year will be more appropriate and more efficient for the current needs. While radiology experts and industry executives may need physical interaction for certain exhibitions, most of them will be more easily available for scientific events remotely. Purchase process requires human bonding and trust building, which come with physical interactions, not only scrolling on the digital catalog of manufacturers. This will change the philosophy of the booth building. They will become more like social gathering spaces than product display areas. Since we spent over 1.5 years working digitally, we can now spare physical display of devices and imagine using virtual reality to display on commercial offers and innovations. We all lacked human bonding through this period. Transforming a booth into a cafe-like area together with the virtual reality capability will bring a playful environment. Well needed after this period. Not to mention the decrease in heavy expenditures combined with lighter, easier logistics. On the contrary, all through scientific events can gather experts within the same room. Digital events produce the exact same effect. The information is identical and often better structured. The speakers and attendees are more relaxed, which surprisingly facilitate open discussions. The current technology also allows combining several physical meetings rooms spread out all around the world into a unified virtual events, as well as actually bringing the emergency room, operating room, ICU, and radiology units into the meetings room. So a combination of remote and on-site meetings may be the best approach for efficient and safe business and scientific partnership. Similarly, from a commercial standpoint, in the past, a 1-hour meeting for prospection and sales demonstration could turn into a logistic nightmare for as much as a 2-day travel. Today, the path is open for change. Planification of a 1-hour remote meeting is easier and better accepted by all parties. This will significantly increase efficiency of sales and marketing teams, while having a very positive impact over their personal lives. To sum up, the current trend of virtual meetings will shape the future of events by merging physical and digital interactions to get the best of each. Here is what the future product should address. Increased accessibility to expert-level image analysis for any healthcare providers using imaging to diagnose or treat. Time saving, expanding diagnostic capabilities and confidence in automated software results. Open access to imaging in medically isolated populations. To reach this goal, the future post-processing platforms need to provide advanced automation capabilities to accelerate workflows. Be mobile, providing instant access anytime, anywhere. Be easy to deploy, configure, and monitor. Use the same infrastructure where possible. Be resilient and perform at scale. Adhere to standard-based interfaces. Meet regulations and customer expectations regarding cybersecurity and privacy. Capitalize on the benefits of AI, mobile and cloud technologies to deliver business value. Today's AI impact on radiology practice remains rather low because of a poor philosophy behind AI-enhanced tools. Indeed, although there is now a myriad of clinical solutions embedding AI-based algorithms, most of them were trained on a specific type of lesions or organ. In other words, the algorithm is enabled to have a broader view of the entire image. On the opposite, AI can be of great impact in technical background of any IT structure, for interconnection and dispatch of informations, greatly enhancing information workflow and access. Also, for AI to be widely adopted in the future, we need to consider reimbursement policies for AI-based solutions, provide enough clinical evidence will be available. On the top of this, if we really wish to facilitate radiologists' tasks, AI-based solutions need to be unified within a comprehensive platform to address a larger need and to have a much higher rate of success than what the current tools can offer. Thank you very much for your attention.